Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all well and keeping yourself busy at the moment. So basically what I wanted to do is go through a, as you probably guessed from the title, a glute workout at home because I've seen a lot of things on Instagram where people are worried that their glute gains are going to disappear, everything they've done in the gym is going to disappear, that they need to put their summer bodies on hold until 2021. You don't need to do that. I've got you. Basically, you can still achieve pretty much the same results from home as you can in the gym, just without the heavy weights. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go through a session with me, just for like a grow your glutes at home session. You don't need any weights at all, you just need some space. If you've got a resistance band, great, add it in because every little helps. And yeah, that's it really, you don't really need anything else, and maybe a chair, but yeah, so let's give this a go. So before we get into the glute workout, I just wanted to go through how we actually grow our muscles and why we can still do it at home. So keeping the science to a minimal, what we need to do is basically cause muscle SRA. So the S being stimulate our recovery, A, adaptations. So when we're doing exercises, we are stimulating the muscle. That causes the muscle to then break down, which is then when you need to allow time to recover, to allow that muscle to rebuild. And that's where the adaptations come in, because the rebuilding will cause the muscle to grow, because it will grow bigger, and it'll also mean the muscle is then more resistant, so that we can work out for longer. It's a stronger muscle. So you can increase the reps or add like a higher weight if we were in the gym. However, with that being said, you don't want to keep working and not allowing time to recover, because if you work too much and don't recover, the muscles will never get bigger because they don't have that time to recover and adapt. Same with if you have very little exercises, so you're not causing too much tension, this won't stimulate the muscles enough to grow, so that even though you might be recovering, hasn't been enough stimulation for your muscles to grow in the first place. So with obviously all the worry about can we still grow our muscles at home, there's actually quite a lot of research behind, and I will leave some of the research papers that I've read in the description box below, but that high reps or working until failure can cause the same hypertrophy effects, or if not similar, to low reps, high weight. So that means we can still get those muscle gains at home, and especially keeping our strength. So the strength side is where we will perhaps not be as strong when we go back to the gym, but we can ensure that we keep those muscle gains and retain as much muscle as possible whilst we're at home. So a few ways to add the tension and to keep your workouts like beneficial and making them harder and still stimulating your muscles is by a few different ways. So you can slow your eccentrics down. So for example, if you're in a squat, slowing down the movement on the way down, that will add a lot of tension to your muscles that you're working. You can play around with tempo, so if you want to add a pause in there somewhere, that will stimulate as well. You really want to focus on a lesser recovery time during the exercises, so your rest periods. So in the gym, if you'd normally work out for rest for 2 to 3 minutes, you'll probably want to aim for 45 to 90 seconds maybe, and then obviously you want to keep those high reps, work until failure, so that you're keeping that muscle under constant tension. And then another key way is by using that mind to muscle connection. So for example, if you're in your hip thrust, you really want to focus on that mind to muscle connection to your glutes to ensure that they're being fired up as much as they possibly can and that you're working the correct muscle. So when it comes to the exercises, there's 3 different types of exercises. So you've got stretches. So an example of this is your squat. So when you're in your lowest position, it's stretching the glutes up to their maximum. So it's firing at their maximal stretch. And then you've got your activators, so like a hip thrust, your glute muscle, when it's at the top end of the, so like at the highest bit of the thrust, the muscle is at its smallest bit, but it's being activated, which is why the mind to muscle connection comes into play, and it's important. And then you've got your third one, which is your pumpers, which you will need to use a lot of whilst we're at home, because we won't have the weight. So these are, for example, your banded sidewalks if you've got a band, donkey kicks if you don't have a band, you can do them without, that sort of thing. So these are great at home because you can go for high rep, and they cause metabolic stress, which will help with the stimulating of the muscle. So you know that burning sensation when you're working out, you can really feel the muscle like firing up. That's what we want to aim for with the pumpers. So those you can go for a lot of reps. You can, the great thing about the pumpers as well is that they like allow very little recovery time because they're not causing a huge amount of muscle breakdown. So you could do these, for example, 6 times a week. So if you wanted to add them in at the end of your other workouts, so if you've got like a push workout, a pull workout, add in like a little set of pumpers towards the end just as a little finisher, and you're still getting that glute benefit from it. So you're still pumping, that muscle still being pumped, which gives you that nice and pumped looking bum. But yeah, it does obviously depend on individuals, so the frequency you'll need to play around with what's best. I try to train glutes 3 times a week, especially whilst I'm at home, and that's just what I found has been most beneficial for my glute growth and for keeping those booty gains that we've all made and we've all worked so hard for. So yeah, let's get into the workout. That's enough of me talking, but I hope that's helped explain the more scientific sides without going too sciencey for you. And yeah, if you've got any questions, feel free to like drop them in the comment below or give me a message on Instagram. I'll leave my Instagram handle along, and yeah, you can find me some questions and I'll try to help. But yeah, let's get into the workout. So what I thought we would do, just so we can ensure that you're completing the exercises correctly, is I'll just voice over a few tips and techniques just so that you're performing the exercise safely. So starting off with the 1.5 squats. With the squat position, you want to make sure that your weight is mainly in your heels whilst you're in the squat position, that your knees are pushed outwards so that they're not caving in, and that your knees when you're in the squat are in line with your toe and not going over your toe, and also keeping your back upright as possible as you can. So with this one, obviously it's a 1.5 rep squat. So what that means is we're just adding a little bit more time under tension. So you're doing the full squat. As you're on your way back up, you go back down and into the squat and then stand up. So moving on to our Bulgarian split squats. With this position, you want to ensure that when you're in the bottom of the position, that your knees are in line with your toes again, so that your knee isn't going over your toes. You should still be able to see them if you look down. You want to ensure that your body is kept upright, so just by bracing your core. And what I would tend to do to target the glutes more is just by taking a wider stance, so that we're focusing more on the glutes rather than the quads. With the curtsy lunges, you want to keep one foot still on your platform to create the deficit, and then you want to take the opposite leg and pull it back behind you, and then with that you want to bend down, ensuring that your front knee is in line with your ankle as you're bent into the position, and again keeping your torso upright and a nice 90-degree angle with the leg behind. So here we have our first superset. So this is 2 exercises performed back to back, just to help load up the intensity and the tension that is on your glutes. So the first exercise as part of the superset is our glute bridges. So this I've done with a band, you can do without. What you want to aim to do is squeeze your bum to really focus on that mind to muscle connection and squeeze it upright so that you create a perfect flat line from your chest all the way up to your knees. You want to ensure that your legs are at 90-degree angle when you're up in the full movement, and keep your torso still so that the hip thrust mainly comes from the hips. So moving on to the second exercise of our superset, this is our glute bridge abductors. So again with a band, you don't have to use the band though, this is just to add extra tension. So what you want to aim to do is keep that bum upright in the squeeze as you were previously in the glute bridges, but this time you're holding that movement there. And you want to keep your legs again at the 90 degrees when they're bent up. And then the aim is to open and close your legs, keeping a constant tension on the resistance band if you have one, and really aim for that mind to muscle connection again between the glutes. So a nice and simple one here with the banded kickbacks. You want to ensure that your core is tight and that you're not swaying too much from side to side, and the movement should only be coming from the leg that is being kicked back. You want to really aim to squeeze your bum just so that you can feel the tension in your glutes. Again, you don't need the band for this, however the band does add tension. With the lying side raises, you want to lie on your side and keep your core tight. I help by bending the leg underneath just to keep my balance upright whilst I'm on my side. And then when you kick your legs up and slowly bring it down, you want to tap the floor lightly. You really want to focus on the control of this movement and not just kick your leg up and down. And really focus on the tension on the side of your bum, just to really feel the benefit of this exercise. If you wanted, you can add a resistance band to this. The movement won't be as big, so you'll shorten the range of movement, but you can add a band to add the tension. So moving on to our second superset of this workout, with the first exercise being donkey kicks. So with this, you want to ensure that your core is tight at all times, so pulling that belly button in towards your spine. You can be on your elbows for this or on your hands, whichever feels more comfortable for you. With the leg that you're kicking up in the air, you really want to ensure that you've got control over this. So flexing your foot will help increase the tension in your glutes. And again, focus on that mind to muscle connection so that you can feel the tension. The second exercise for this superset is our frog pumps. So similar to the glute bridges, you really want to squeeze your bum, but with this one you want to create the butterfly shape with your feet, or frog shape. Keep your feet flat and touching each other, and then squeezing your bum up. Again, keeping that nice flat line from your chest all the way up to your knees, and really focus on, again, the mind to muscle connection with your glutes. Finally, moving on to our last exercise of this workout is our banded sidewalks. With this, you want to aim to take a step wide enough that you keep constant tension on the band, and then throughout the whole movement ensure that the tension is there throughout the whole exercise. If you don't have a band, then what I would recommend is keeping the same movement where you step side to side, but sit in a squat so that you're lower, and then it's the squat that is adding the tension. So that's the end of our glute workout. I hope you've got a bit of a pump on from the glutes. But yeah, just to go over and emphasize the fact that your booty gains will not be lost from this period of lockdown, from being not able to get to the gym. And remember to be able to like adapt your home workouts, you just need to play around with the eccentrics movement and slowing it down. Play around with tempos, throw in some pauses in there. You'll be surprised at how much your muscles begin to shake from this. Go for a higher rep range than usual. So, you know, working at those 20, 25s, even pushing yourself until failure. That's a good way of keeping your strength as well with basic bodyweight exercises. It doesn't have to be just for glutes either. You can do this with any type of exercise session. So, you know, press ups until failure, that kind of thing. And focus on that mind to muscle connection, and then finally just ensuring that you have a lesser recovery time during your sets, so that you're just keeping that intensity fairly high. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you found it beneficial and that you are now inspired to go and do a glute workout. If you do like this sort of content from me, then please don't forget to give this a like, click the subscribe button and turn your notifications on, and I will really appreciate all your support. And thank you to everyone that keeps coming back and watching all my videos. Yeah, I love you all. Thank you.